I'm Jodie Bramman and I am a registered nutritional therapist, and today I want to talk to you about estrogen dominance. Now, estrogen dominance is a hormonal condition which happens when progesterone gets really low and estrogen gets kind of crazy out of control and can cause so many different symptoms, from things like heavy periods, irregular periods, fibroids, cysts, endometriosis, and even ovarian and breast cancers. So it's something we have to get to the bottom of, and we have to target, and we have to sort out. And the good news is there's loads that we can do to support our body nutritionally and get all the good stuff in and pull all the bad stuff out. So the way I love to do this is by making a really nutrient-dense smoothie first thing in the morning. A, you start the day off really well, and B, you can just cram in so many superfoods, so much nutrition into one tiny sitting, and you're good to go. So one thing that's really, really vital in any hormonal condition is blood sugar balancing. 9 times out of 10, there will always be a blood sugar issue whenever you have estrogen issues or testosterone issues or just any hormonal condition. Insulin really, really interacts. So keeping those blood sugar levels stable is what you want to be doing. Now, most smoothies are made with bananas and dates and all that stuff, which, yeah, it tastes really good, but they're so sugary and they're just going to spike your blood sugar levels. So you wake up in the morning, you have your bananas, whoosh, straight up, and then you come crashing down and everything just has a knock-on effect. So we want to start with berries. We want to utilize berries and have lots of low glycemic fruits and lots of vegetables, and, you know, keep everything nice and smooth. One thing I will say as well is that hormonal conditions can manifest so many different ways. So sometimes it's good to get a functional test done to see exactly where your levels are at. Anything that I show you today, you can tweak it, you can shake it up as much as you like. You know, if you need a bit of sweetness, you can add in some vanilla flavored protein powder. You can add in I'll allow a tiny bit of banana. No, not really, scrap that. Or you can add in some blueberries, some strawberries, things with a natural sweetness to really sort of help. You can even use a little bit of stevia. Sweet leaf stevia is brilliant, and things that can just sort of adjust to your palate, but without spiking anything where it shouldn't be, if that makes any sense. So we always need a little bit of fruit in our smoothie. So I'm going to start with some raspberries. Now, I've just used frozen raspberries because it's really easy to just keep them in the freezer. You don't have to worry about them, and you can pull them out when you need a smoothie. So I've taken just over half a cup full. Now, raspberries are fantastic for estrogen dominance because they contain something called ellagic acid, which helps pull out this excess estrogen. So I'm going to start with that and throw it in my blender. What's also really, really vital for blood sugar balancing is making sure that you always have protein and fat at every meal. So for this, I'm going to take a trusty avocado. Avocados are just going crazy at the moment. I'm going to take about half. If you have a massive avocado, you might want to do just a quarter of an avocado. And I'm going to just scoop this straight into the blender. Avocados are really great for smoothies as well. They kind of do what bananas do and just make everything super creamy and delicious. I'm then going to add in a protein powder. Now, I use Pulsin brown rice protein because it's just very basic. It's got a good amount of protein. It's suitable for vegetarians. I tend to opt between this or collagen as well, which has some great gut healing properties, but sometimes people are a bit funny with using collagen. So let's just stick with this, and you can chop and change your protein as and when you need to. So I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of protein powder straight in there. Oh, that wasn't quite a tablespoon. Another thing that I use is loads of superfoods, because superfoods contain such great nutrition and so many properties that we can't always get from foods. So they're very concentrated. So I'm going to start with a greens powder. Now, one thing with estrogen dominance is that sometimes excess estrogen cannot be excreted. So you want to be helping the liver and supporting the liver to do what it does best and pull everything out. Pull out toxins, just getting rid of it. So the liver loves greens. Really helps support all the liver pathways. So I'm going to be using this greens powder. You can get any different greens powder. I love this. It's from Indigo Nutrition and Indigo Herbs, and it contains wheatgrass, barley grass, spirulina, chlorella, moringa, fabulous foods that can just add wonder to your smoothie. So I'm going to take about a teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons straight into the blender like that, depending on how good you are with your greens and how much you can tolerate it. So one of the detoxification pathways in the liver also uses something called betaine. Now, you can either throw in a bit of beetroot in there, or if you're a bit lazy like me and you just want something that you can throw in quickly, I use beetroot powder. So I'm just going to take about half a teaspoon, if I can find my teaspoon, half a teaspoon of that, and put that straight in the blender. Nice and easy. Now also what's fantastic is green tea can also really help pull out excess estrogen. So rather than, again, I'm really take the easy route out. Rather than pour myself a cup of tea, which you can do, I'm going to use Matcha, which is a really powerful green tea, and I've just got this fabulous one from Clear Spring. So I'm going to pop in a really tiny amount because you do not want to set your adrenals on fire with this. So I'm just going to put in an eighth or a quarter of a teaspoon, really tiny, just straight in there, so you get all the benefits of green tea. Just to pop back as well for blood sugar balance, cinnamon is fantastic for blood sugar balancing, so I shove that in everything. Now I'm going to take about a quarter of a teaspoon, or maybe half a teaspoon, no, a quarter of a teaspoon in there to help make that. Firstly, it makes it delicious, but also you'll just get the added benefits of the cinnamon blood sugar balancing wonderfulness. So with any hormonal condition, you really want to support the adrenal glands and the stress response. Now, the adrenal glands love salt, so usually I put in a pinch of salt, but I've also recently discovered this amazing product called Quinton Hypertonics, and it's basically natural trace elements, natural from seawater, and they come in cute little glass vials, and all you do is you just snap off one end and snap off the other, and you just pour the water straight in. So it just gives it a nice, also really nice sort of salty taste, a little bit, sort of an element of salt, that helps support the adrenals. Now, another problem with estrogen, we've covered a bit of the liver, but what's really important is that the gut is happy when you have any hormone-related condition. So sometimes it's worth doing a stool test to see what's going on, but also you just want to make sure that everything is moving. If you have constipation, your estrogen isn't going to be able to be excreted and it will just recirculate. So keep everything moving and have a good dose of fibre. One of the fantastic fibre supplements for estrogen conditions is flax. So I've just taken some whole flax seeds and ground them up, and I'm going to put in about a tablespoon, no, maybe half a tablespoon of flax straight into the blender. And it kind of makes it a bit thick as well. It's got lots of added benefits for this smoothie. Now, there are two things that you can do now to either make this into a smoothie, or if you're like me and you really love sitting down and eating food, you can make it into a smoothie bowl. And the only thing that determines that is the amount of liquid you put in. So I'm going to put in just a tiny bit of liquid, just enough to blend. But if you want a smoothie, put in a cupful. I'm just using water because I just don't want to overcomplicate things with loads of different bases and loads of different everything. So that's just going straight in. And you are ready to blend. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make the bowl now. So your first step is to grab a bowl, and then, very complicated, just pour it straight in. So I'm going to add some bee pollen, and bee pollen is rich in loads of different B vitamins and fabulous nutrient-dense foods. And then I'm going to put in some hemp seeds as well. Okay, you don't need to make it look beautiful. I'm just going to show you how to do it really quickly. And then coconut. You can put some coconut on top of that as well. And coconut's got some extra good fats in as well. So that was it from me. And enjoy your smoothie. So good.